Welcome again, dear friends, now to the Tuesday edition of Fresh Bread. This is Reverend Phil Anderson here speaking, pastor of Oakland United Methodist Church, 801 Northeast Chester Avenue, corner of Sardu and Chester in the Oakland area of Northeast Topeka, and also privileged to be the pastor of Kansas Avenue United Methodist Church, 1029 North Kansas Avenue, Noto Arts District in North Topeka. Hey, I wanted to remind you that this Friday night, 7 o'clock. First Friday Flicks. That's right, the First Friday Flicks. We're doing those in conjunction with the First Friday Art Walks. And this week is going to be a really good show. Hope you can make it. It's called Nothing is Impossible. It's going to be at 7 o'clock on Friday night in the Fellowship Hall there at Kansas Avenue. We're located in the North Topeka Arts District. We're in Noto. So we're trying to find ways to connect with our friends and neighbors in our neighborhood, certainly the Noto district as well. And this is one small way we are kind of starting out on that in a kind of a more maybe creative way in terms of ways we can just kind of meet people in their kind of just informal ways, you know, without maybe doing like a special service that we could bring people. And we would certainly like to do some of those as well. Hopefully this summer we'll be able to take some things outside during the First Friday Art Walks, do maybe some cookouts and put some chairs out, have a little music out there in either the green space or in the concrete apron outside there by the annex that's all that got the beautiful murals. So we got ideas. It's just kind of putting them together, seeing who wants to do what, if we can see if we can get enough people to show up and do it. But in the meantime, we're excited about that. I do think some of those things are going to happen, and I do hope that you will be a part of that. We're always looking for people who want to get involved. You know, it's easy to kind of sit on the sidelines and let other people do things, even if you yourself really feel like you want to do it. Sometimes it's just hard to raise your hand and say, hey, I'll help, you know. But if you're ever that way, we'd love to have you help. So anyway, we're looking for some ways to reach our neighbors. Over in Oakland, we spent some time yesterday looking at some ways to maybe start our movie nights over there, and hopefully we can do those. It might be the summer before we really get them started because of some schedule conflicts, but we'd like to do them, you know, on a weekly basis. Also looking at ways to start showing The Chosen over there on Sunday morning. So we're working on some things. You know, things seem like they just aren't moving, but they are moving. It's just under the surface, kind of like that oak tree I was telling the folks about in Oakland on Sunday. And you look at a little acorn, you go, there's not a tree there, is there? But, you know, eventually there is a tree there. It just starts out as an acorn. So some of these are small ideas that take a little time to plant and to germinate and to water and to fertilize, and pretty soon they start growing. So that's what some of these ideas are. And certainly excited about some of the things we're doing. We're very grateful to be a part of the neighboring movement team. We're very grateful to be part of the United Methodist Church Healthy Congregations team. And we are planning to move forward on a lot of these. So you'll see some things happening. I'm quite confident of that in the next couple of months, especially as the weather warms up. It's a little easier to get out and be with neighbors and do things outside where they don't feel like they have to come into a building. A lot of people don't want to come into a church, so that's kind of where we're at. We're looking forward to some of these things. Hey, we're looking at the book of James. We've been on this for a few weeks. We're just taking a few verses here and there. Let's start again in the first chapter of James. Some of this we may have seen, talked about a little bit, but let's just read a few verses today and we'll pick it up again tomorrow on Wednesday. Blessed is again, James chapter 1 verse 12. Blessed is the man who endures trial. For when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life which God has promised to those who love him. Let no one say when he is tempted, I am tempted by God, for God cannot be tempted with evil, and he himself tempts no one. But each person is tempted when he is lured and enticed by his own desire. Then desire, when it has conceived, gives birth to sin, and sin, when it is full grown, brings forth death. Well, we'll talk more about this tomorrow because that's kind of picking up where we were talking about last week, where Adam introduced sin into the world and sin brought death. We'll talk about this tomorrow. So come back, please, to join me tomorrow as we get ready for a new month of Fresh Bread starting tomorrow, March 1st on that Wednesday. Until then, have a wonderful day. God bless you. We'll hope to talk to you then.